Hey YouTube, today we're going to have a little bit of fun and we're going to look at a variety of pistols that I have selected here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you which one is my favorite 45 pistol that I own. And I have narrowed it down to these 10 that I have right in front of us here. And we're going to go through each and every one of them very briefly. We're not going to get too involved in explaining what they are. I have videos on every pistol on this table, I believe, and we're going to tell why I like them, and we're going to come to a conclusion of which one I shoot the best and which one is my favorite. So with that being said, we're going to start off with this one, and I'm going to show you that these aren't loaded as I pick them up. I'm not going to do them right before the video. This is a Glock 21 chambered in 45 ACP. And I believe that anybody wants to get into the 45 ACP game, they should get one of these. And it's a large pistol. You can use it for home defense, and you can use it for a range gun. And it has a large capacity. It holds 15 rounds of 45 ACP, and I own it because I like it. But is this my favorite one, and do I shoot this one the best? Absolutely isn't. It's got the worst trigger of any pistol on this table. I don't know what it is about this particular Glock. It does not have a good trigger. I have a ghost trigger bar in it, and it still feels a little gritty and a little spongy, so it does not make the cut as my favorite 45 pistol. I did have to include it in here because I think everybody that's into the 45 game probably has one of these, and I am one of those people. So what we're going to do is we're going to set this one aside, and we're going to move on to the next one. The next one we're going to go to is the Glock 30. This is the Glock 30S, and this one has about a million times better trigger than the one I just showed you. Now, why does this one make the cut? Because I rely on my life on it every single day of my life. It's a Glock 30S, has a slim frame or slim slide on it. And it says 30S right there for slim slide. I know some people made comments a couple of these videos that SF means the frame, and they're right, but this is an S model because it has a slim slide. Why do I like this one so much? Because it's a very small package. It's chambered in 45 ACP, which is what I prefer to carry, and it's holds 10 rounds and got a good trigger. It shoots real well. It's very light and very versatile, and it will take the magazines out of the Glock 21 that I just showed you. So is it my favorite one? It is not my favorite one, so we're going to set that aside. We're going to move on to something else here. This is a Sig 220, and this one's also chambered in 45, as everyone on here is. Now, this is a classic gun that every single person that's in the 45s knows something about. Maybe not everybody has one of these because they are a little bit more pricey than the Glocks and all that, but this is a two-tone one. It says made in Germany right here on the side, and this one is, what makes this one cool is this one is double action and single action. So it has the decocker right here on the side of it, and very good shooting gun. Is it my favorite one? It is not my favorite one, folks. It is a good gun, and every gun on here is good, and I like every gun on here. So I'm not saying I dislike any of them. I'm just going to tell you which one is my favorite one, and this one is not my favorite one. Moving on to the next one. This is a Sig 320, chambered in 45 ACP. This gun is an excellent shooting gun. It feels more ergonomic than the Glock 21 or any Glock for that matter. It has a better trigger than any Glock whatsoever, and you don't see these as often as you see the 9mm ones. This is the gun that the military decided to adopt several years back, but they did it in 9mm, and when I first saw these and handled one, I said, you know what, if they ever make that in 45, I might be interested. Well, they did, and I bought one, and I put this Talon grip on it because it's a little slick for the 45 recoil that the 45 ACP has, and this rubberized Talon grip makes it a little bit easier to hold on to. But very good gun. It's very well balanced, got a good sight picture. It's very comfortable in your hand to shoot, and I shoot it very well. Is it my favorite one, or did I shoot it the best? It is not. So let's move on. We're gonna go to, let's see, which one should we choose next? This one here. Let's go with the 1911. This is a Caspian, custom built, 1911. A gunsmith friend of mine that does all my gunsmith work. He's refinished revolvers for me. He's done trigger jobs on revolvers. He's done 1911 work. He hand built this. This is a Caspian frame and Caspian slide. If you look on top, it has an Ed Brown match barrel in it with a hand fit barrel bushing. It's got really good sights on it. Very tight fit together. It's just, this has got the best of the best, and this was hand built for me. This is the only one like this that exists. It's a very bright, high polished stainless steel, and it is awesome. It's got a phenomenal trigger, like all 1911s do. But is it my favorite one, and do I shoot it the best? It is not my favorite one, folks, but I do like it a lot, and I think it's an awesome shooting gun. We'll set it aside. Let's go to the next one here. This is an FN 545 tactical, and this is the one that I bought because it's a tactical version, and it has this threaded barrel on it, and I put a dual illuminated Trijicon RMR on it. You can see right in there if you look real close. It's supposed to be a green triangle, but it won't show up well on camera. And I put a Surefire weapon light on the side of it. This gun is awesome. Everything about it is very well made. Has an awesome trigger in it. And what drew me to this gun originally was that it was able to accept the suppressor. It is a striker fired gun. It hasn't been out that long. And the FNX Tactical 45, the 45 is a hammer fired gun. This is striker fired, so this is a little bit lighter in the capacity. This thing comes with an extended magazine from the factory that holds 18 rounds of 45, so you're not going to really conceal this very well either anyway with all the stuff that I have on it. So why not have a large capacity? And this is the largest capacity 45 that I have. Is it my favorite one? It is not, folks. Set that aside. Now, next one. This is a Wilson Combat Professional. It's chambered in 45. This is a professional size, which means that it has full-size frame, 4-inch barrel. It's a very well made. It's a top-end company. I believe this is the first Wilson Combat that I ever personally owned, and I like it a lot. And I can appreciate the way things are made and how well the Wilson Combat builds their stuff. These are by far not cheap at all, but they are worth it for what you get. Now, is this my favorite 45? Do I shoot it the best? It is not. Moving back on. This is another Wilson Combat. This one is a really souped up one. This one has all the bells and whistles on it. If you'll look, it's got carry cuts on it. It's got a one-piece blended magwell on it. It's got AMI safety on it. It's all checkered on the back. It's got serrations on the top. It's all deburred and has countersunk slide stops. It's got a fluted barrel and fluted chamber on it. And this thing is awesome. I mean, this is probably the best looking Wilson, one of the ones I've ever seen. The barrel's flush cut and crowned. This is a really cool looking gun here, folks. But is it my favorite one? It shoots really well, and it's hard to say no to it, but it's not my favorite one. So we're going to set that aside. Next one we're going to look at is a Colt. This is a Series 70 Gold Cup. And I have had several of these over the years, folks, and I had to wait till I got the right one in my hands before I found an actual keeper. Now, this one has Most beautiful bluing you'll ever see on it. And this is the large roll mark. It's an early 70s model one. It features Allison target sights on it. This is really one of the first ever when 1911s first started being customized, and this is an all factory gun. Has a match grade barrel in it. It's got walnut, really kind of aggressive checker grips. Does have texturing on the front. It's one of the first 1911s ever put texturing on the front, and the trigger on this thing is amazing. It is absolutely amazing. The slide on it works like butter. Is this my favorite one? It is not, folks. Do I shoot it the best? Yes, I do. This is the gun that if I was to get in a shooting contest with somebody, I would use this one. And believe it or not, I have probably the most practice with this gun that I do in any of these other 45s, so I'm very familiar with it. And this gun is something else. I mean, if I had to get into a competition with somebody, I feel confident that I could win with this one. And maybe I'll win with one of these other ones here, but I know this gun, and I know where it prints. I know exactly how to hold, and I know everything about this gun. So folks, this is going to be your best shooting 45 in my hands on this table. And last but not least, we have this one. This is a Colt 45, 1911. This is an original 45, I guess you should say. When the 45 was introduced in 1911 by John Moses Browning, he designed this pistol, and this is one of the original ones. This particular example was made in 1918. This is an original Black Army. This was a United States issued military gun. It says it right there on the side, United States property. Model of 1911, U.S. Army. And you don't have a 45 unless you have the original one, and that's what this is. And folks, this is my favorite 45 that I have, because it's the very first 45 that was ever made, and that is the reason why. It does not shoot better than the previous one I just showed you, because it's old. It's got really poor looking sights, but it is a piece of American history, and without this gun, none of the other guns I showed you would exist. So I just wanted to take this time to show you what my favorite 45 pistols are and which pistol I shoot the best. If you have any questions on this video, folks, feel free to ask. This wasn't an individual video. This is just on each individual firearm. This was just having a little bit of fun and showing you what my favorite 45 pistols are. Thank you very much, folks, for watching my video today, and you folks have a great day.